Hello and welcome to Tuesday, 2 o'clock Tea and Talk. I'm Aura McKay. I'm a business coach and lifestyle strategist, and creative entrepreneurs hire me to help them bridge that gap between their creative genius and making money. If this is your first time joining the 2 o'clock Tea and Talk, go ahead and put your comments, as I always go back and make sure that I answer any questions that you have. Today, the Tuesday 2 o'clock Tea and Talk topic, we're going to be talking about why is marketing so complicated, why is it so difficult, and even more importantly, what can we do to make it easier, to make it more simple, to be able to follow through on it. So one of the things that I've noticed with a lot of my clients is that because we are, most of us, solo entrepreneurs, we are wearing all of the hats in our business. And there are two main areas when you're running a business to think about. One of the main areas in a business is business development, and one of the other areas is operations. And the third actually is delivering the service. And most of us are amazing at delivering our service. We have our own creative talents. We've been trained in our creative skills, whether we're photographers or videographers or web developers or content managers or event planners. We know our craft. Where we sometimes fall down, though, is we're not necessarily trained on how to run a business. And we're certainly not trained on marketing. I mean, there's a reason why marketing professionals are marketing professionals. It can take a lot of time and effort and energy to learn how to do comprehensive marketing really, really well. But it doesn't have to be that complicated, and it doesn't have to be that difficult. So today I want to talk to you about how to make it a little bit less complicated, how to make it a little bit less difficult, so that you can start feeling like you're making some progress and stop being so frustrated and overwhelmed by the marketing aspect of running your business. So some of the things that make marketing complicated. I've heard things like, well, I don't know where I should be marketing. I don't know if I should be on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Snapchat, or should I be doing live networking? Should I be blogging? Where do I focus? And so many of us are wasting our time and money and effort and energy on doing way too many things. So the first thing that you want to consider when you're wanting to make marketing less complicated is to simplify where you're investing your time and money. So choosing one platform to focus on at a time, one thing to really kind of understand and wrap your head around, and then maybe expand or diversify some of your marketing efforts. That is going to really help you make it less complicated. I mean, obviously, if you simplify, it's less complicated, but so many of us, we just get pressured to be in too many places at once, essentially. So if what we can do is think about, well, where do most of them hang out? So if most of your clients hang out on LinkedIn, then focus on LinkedIn first. If most of your clients are hanging out on Twitter, then focus your energy on Twitter first. I did a mini masterclass on the weekend, and one of the examples that I gave was the example of Starbucks. So Starbucks, when they first started out, they focused on one thing, on coffee. And when they mastered coffee and marketing coffee, then they started to diversify their offers and diversify how they're marketing. And now they're marketing to people at home using YouTube videos by baristas teaching us how to make our own macchiatos in our own kitchen. So the lesson is that so many of us are wearing too many hats in our own business already. Give yourself the gift of simplification and just choose one platform at a time to focus on. So today, So simplifying and focusing on a platform at a time is one of the ways to make it a little bit less complicated. And yep, I let it slip, focusing on one message at a time. So many of us are wanting to make a big impact or to really, help a lot of people, and we believe that our services can make a difference for a lot of different people. And so we're not as clear on our message as maybe we need to be. So when you're able to articulate your message, when you're able to clearly identify what it is that you want to say in your marketing, and you've got a really great vision for how that aligns with your brand, it becomes so much easier to do marketing. So work that you can do in advance to identify what is your message, what is it that you want people to think, feel, and do when they see your marketing, what is going to be that call to action for them. So doing the work in advance to getting that clarity about what is my marketing message, that's going to really help you simplify and make marketing a whole lot easier. Because one message on one platform, you can master that. I know you can. Maybe it's not the last. I like to share a lot of different things. That actually brings me to my third point about marketing. One of the things that I hear about people or hear from people is that marketing, it's hard to be consistent. And one of the really big keys of successful marketing is to be consistent with what you're doing. Many of us are who are in the beginning stages of our business are kind of in that the sort of feast and famine roller coaster of a gig economy where, we've got a great client and we work. We're all doing the business part of it, the delivery part of it. And then all of a sudden that project's over and we got nothing. So then we go market. And then we finally get some business, and then we forget about marketing for a while. So being consistent is one of the key elements of successful marketing. And one of the things we're doing with marketing is we're trying to build trust and relationship with our clients. So building that trust and relationship by being consistent is key. Okay, great, Aura, that's awesome, my clients say to me, but my schedule's all over the place. It's too much work to try to do it all the time. I can't be posting 10 times a day. So again, that comes back to simplifying and focusing on one platform and one message at a time so that you can afford to be consistent. When you're doing that, you can start to take advantage of things like automations. When it's one platform, you can really get to know how can I leverage the automation opportunities in that platform. So for instance, in Facebook you can do scheduled posts. You can schedule posts in your blogs too. You can partner with someone who has a podcast that runs at a regular time. So simplifying it through really understanding your message and your platform and focusing on that one thing at a time will help you to be consistent and therefore more successful. When you only have one platform and one message, it becomes way easier to do it. So you're more likely to do it consistently. A lot of us are super ambitious. Guys, I see you. Please let me know what your biggest challenge is. Is time a challenge for you? Is it tough for you guys to find the time to do the marketing? Is it more about lack of clarity on your message that makes it complicated? Is it not really understanding technology that makes it complicated? Drop your comments in so that I know exactly where to focus to help you make your marketing easier so that you can start attracting clients that you love and making the money that you want and deserve. Simplifying, one message, one platform, and really taking advantage of automation, that can help a lot too. The biggest thing that I think makes a difference for any entrepreneur, no matter what stage of business you're in, is to have a strategy. I know for a lot of creatives, words like strategy and plan kind of give you like the heebie-jeebies. They're kind of words like commitment and accountability for some people. Don't let the word strategy make you like totally turn you off or completely stop you from doing it, because it is such a powerful tool. So marketing is a conversation that you have where you share what you do and who you are with the world. A strategy is a plan for how you're going to do that in the most effective way. That's all it is. So instead of just sort of willy-nilly choosing, oh gosh, somebody said Facebook, so I'm going to post on Facebook, and somebody said blog, so I'm going to blog, and somebody said this, so I'm going to do this. Having an overall strategy is one of the things that can give you the most clarity and the most comments. The most confidence. So I'm going to say it another way. When I ask people, who can I refer you to? Like, how can I help you get business? Who are you looking for as a client? So many people say, oh, I'll do business with pretty much anyone. And that becomes not only hard for people to refer, but also hard to market to. One of my coaches said, if you can't look it up in a phone book, it's going to be really hard to market to that client. So if you can't define your client partially by some kind of measurable criterion, like the size of the business, or the number of employees, or their age, or where they live, or something around that point, then it can be very difficult to figure out where they hang out. The other part is about looking at who is the decision maker. I think I understand your business a little bit. I mean, you are marketing transformation to businesses and corporations, specifically around their team and their team experience. So one thing that may help you is to think about who is the decision maker, who's actually going to be hiring you, and do you want to talk directly to them in your marketing? Or do you want to talk to influencers and gatekeepers in your marketing and then have a sales conversation with the decision maker? So sometimes it can be very difficult to find the platforms where the decision maker is hanging out, but you may be able to find the platform where the influencers or gatekeepers are hanging out. For photographers, maybe if you're a wedding photographer, you might think, okay, well, who is actually the decision maker? Is the bride the decision maker? Is the bride the influencer? And how could you get in front of that market? Where are those people hanging out? And more importantly, where are they looking for services like you? So what I was going to say about platforms, and I was going to say something. Sometimes your influencers are hanging out in really different platforms than your decision makers. Starting to think about, where is it that you can add value to those people? And where is it that you could maybe contribute to their conversation? So guys, I'm just checking my time here. We got just a couple of minutes left. Thank you so much for everyone who's been sharing this and inviting other people to this conversation. I think that the final thing I want to say about marketing, and one of the things that make it kind of complicated and difficult, is that many of us don't know how to measure our success. So when we are marketing on, let's say, Instagram, for instance, and we get a bunch of likes on a post, we think we're doing really great marketing. And we might be, but if what we really need is to have people do some other action, like visit our page and book a consultation, or visit our page and buy something, and all they're doing is liking, then we may not be as effective at our marketing as we think we are. And so we might be measuring the wrong thing. So one of the things that a marketing strategy helps you do is to really identify, well, what is it that you're going to measure, so that you know that your marketing is working, so that you know that your time and money and effort are being invested in something that's actually bringing value to you and your business. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up the Tuesday 2 o'clock Tea and Talk. I thank you so much for joining me.